I was in northern India at a school run entirely by women volunteers when I heard it for the first time in ages. It was barely audible over the shouting of children, the squeals and laughter bubbling up through the schoolyard into the classroom window, but I heard it. The swish of silk saris and the jingle-jangle of bangles on thin wrists like wind chimes. This is what learning sounds like. I remember when I was 5 years old, the principal of our junior school was Mrs. Ribeiro. She was an Indian woman the size of a nightlight, and she glided like a sailboat through the hallways of our school. Once, when I got close enough to grab a fistful of her draping silk sari, I lifted it to try and see if she had any feet at all. I thought she floated. We begged to be sent to her office, the hanging plants like a jungle above our heads, her quiet laughter. Adults needed an appointment, but we did not. And even when she was in a grown-up meeting, all it took was a gentle knock on the door, a peek around the corner, and she was off, calling, "Sorry, dear, we'll have to reschedule. I have another meeting with someone very important. It's about a gold star. It's about a new diorama. It's about a finished reading book one level higher than last time." She visited every classroom, knew every student by name, spoke to us like we were scholars, artists, scientists, athletes, musicians, and we were. My world was the size of a crayon box. It took every color to draw her. Once, on a New York City sidewalk, a group of women in brightly colored saris walked by, and someone shouted, "Look, Ma, look at all those principals." My world was the size of a classroom. It was as tall as I could stretch my finger, shouting, "Please, pick me to be the one to read to Mrs. Ribeiro. Pick me to be the one to show her what I know." C-L-O. Clothes, shirts, pants, socks, shoes. Animals, cat, dog, bird, fish. Look how much I know. She brought us guests, artists, a petting zoo. They unpacked the cages in the parking lot while we were still tucked up in our classrooms unawares. The guinea pigs and the bunnies poked out their noses, but Mrs. Ribeiro came to pause in front of the llama cage. She and the llama considered each other for a long time before she asked the trainers whether he was tame enough to be brought inside. They laughed and told her he was plenty tame, but he didn't know how to walk upstairs. So she led him to the elevator. And when the doors slid open on the second floor, there stood Mrs. Ribeiro in a bright pink sari with gold bangles and a llama on a leash. She floated from classroom to classroom, and we stared, cheered, shouted, tugged at her sari, saying, "Miss, what is that? Where did it come from?" She made us wonder. She made us question. She made us proud of what we had learned: clothes, shirts, pants, socks, shoes, saris, animals, cat, dog, bird, fish, llama. Look how much I have learned. She taught us to share. She taught us to listen to each other when someone else is speaking, and then she let us go. We were dandelion seeds released to the wind. She asked for no return. We are saplings now, with gentle hands. The girl with messy hairpins and bright cheeks now works at an orphanage in Cameroon. The boy with color-ordered markers, now a graphic designer in Chicago. The one with the best diorama, now an animal activist in Argentina. The one who loved to read out loud, now a poet in India. She let us fly. And so I find myself at the front of a classroom. My students tug at my sleeve and ask me, "Miss, do all poets wear big black boots?" I pray for patience. I pray for wisdom, to find a way to tame all the peculiar animals of this world, to coax them enough to brave the elevator, to watch the doors slide open to my students' gaping mouths, all their wild wonder. They worry about everything. They worry about what to write. They worry about their grades. They talk over each other until I cannot hear. I tell them, "Listen, Listen to each other like you know you are scholars, artists, musicians, athletes, scientists, like you know you will be the ones to take this world. Show me how many colors you know how to draw with. Show me how proud you are of what you have learned, and I promise I will do the same. Thank you.